Bade Aluko, an experienced entrepreneur whose greatest joy in life is seeing people that pass through his various companies become a major success in their chosen careers.
Good evening again, members of the cohort and mentors. I'm going to be talking about revenue modeling. My discussion has greatly been helped by Jacob's introduction earlier. We tend to forget and misunderstand what actually revenue is. So let's go back to basics. What is revenue? Revenue is the total amount of income generated by sales of goods or services related to company's primary operations. So as a company, if you do not have revenue, you are not going anywhere. You have to earn money one way or the other. Typically, we put revenue as the top line on the income statement to denote the importance of revenue. There are different types of sources of revenue that you can model, which is a reflection on the type of businesses that you are trying to do. So your revenue types could be a product sales, in which case you are selling a particular product and you are earning an income in exchange for the product. It could be services fees that you are earning, providing the service and you get a fee in exchange. It could be that you are advertising and you're earning advertising income on the platform to the potential users on the platform. You could be selling a data access and earning a fee from it. At the same time, you could be selling a software license. Typically in this context, we talk about software as a license. And of course, you could be earning commission plus and above all these types of sources. When you're developing a revenue model, the critical element would be what will be the structure of the model, of the revenue model you are developing. In essence, are you collecting revenue directly from the customer in exchange for a service or product? Or are you acting as an intermediary, helping to bring buyers and sellers together, and then you're earning a fee for the service, or you are taking a commission for whatever a sale is done? Some of the entrepreneurs today mentioned providing a service, a marketplace service where you bring people together and you earn commission for the service. Or are you a publisher of content? Do you create an online community and you've had a large number of people on your platform, and then you want to charge access to the content or to the community? Or are you providing content and community for a fee and collect revenues from advertisers who want to target the readers or the users of your platform? Or are you giving permission for your product to be used in exchange for a license fee? Have you created an application that you host online, and when people use that application for their service, for their use, they pay you a license fee for it? Or are you a collector of data and you're charging fees to marketers for accessing those information that you already have in your platform? These are various revenue models that you could create depending on the type of startup that you are creating. It is extremely very important. I think we said this last week, that you understand what type of startup are you creating, because that would dictate greatly what type of revenue you can earn and what type of model you can adopt. Product pricing. You need to determine your price by selecting your revenue model while factoring in your competitive positioning and your idea for profit target. At the end of the day, you're in business to make profit, and you have to model and price your product in a manner that enables you to cover your costs and make money. Each type of the revenue model will most likely have a market benchmark, which you can research to help you price competitively. Positioning your product is a great art that is quite important in a successful business. So you begin to look at what type of startup are you creating, and how do you position your revenue model and price your goods and services appropriately. So you begin to ask yourself the following questions. Are you developing a radical new pricing model? In essence, are you doing things totally different from what the market that you're targeting is doing? And what is the rationale behind that? Will you be pricing will you be putting your price to be in line with traditional benchmarks? In essence, are you going to go to understand how the target market is behaving? What is the price in that market? And use that actually as a yardstick for your own positioning. Will your price be competitive? If you are creating a niche market where there are no entrants already, you might have the benefit of being able to arbitrarily dictate or create a pricing and positioning properly. But as soon as competitors start getting onto your market, you begin to think about what is the competitiveness of that pricing. Are you selling a premium product with room to charge more than your competitors, or will you undercut the competition? And of course, are you going to use a simple markup to cover your unit cost? In this instant, you need to be extremely very careful that you understand what you're doing, because if competitor comes, are you capable of dropping your cost, dropping your income potential and still be able to make profit? Because if you are doing a simple markup system, then you're opening yourself to competitive targets. If you're a content provider, what are the prevailing rates for the type of advertising in your segment, in your market? And that will determine what is it that you can position yourself around. If you're a provider of data, what do marketers typically pay for access to similar information in your environment? These are the data that is important, that enables you to position your product pricing appropriately to ensure that you have maximum value return on your services. Obviously, for a revenue model to be complete, you have to look at your pricing from the concept of what is the frequency. How often can you charge your customers? Do you charge them on a daily basis? Do you charge them on a weekly, monthly, or annually? And if you take all these together, this information will enable you to project your total revenue and would enhance the survival of your business, or as a matter of fact, the viability of your business. Thank you.